All right, guys. All right, guys. We are live with another one, guys. Okay. We are live with another one. The mic is hot, guys. You already know what this is, okay? This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you already know. You might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys. There's a lot to be talked about right now. Okay, there's a lot to be talked about right now, especially with the topic of discussion, guys. Okay, right now we have a UFC fight night over there in Seattle, headlined by Joe Pfeiffer and former champion Israel Adesanya. This should be a great, fantastic main event of the evening. However, guys, this is a fun card. Last weekend, on paper, I did mention that that card was trash. However, after the event was over, I ended up giving that event a 7.7, guys. Solid. That was a solid UFC card, solid UFC of UFC event, UFC fight night. So I'm excited about this one, especially with Israel Adesanya at the top of the heap, guys. But we also got Alexa Grasso, former champion, versus Macy Barber, who is just on a tear, guys. Okay? I mean, Macy Barber, the only real reason why she had some setbacks in her career was due to injuries. Besides that, she's on a huge winning streak. And when it comes to Alexa Grasso, she's been on a losing streak. However, she's only lost against the top of the competition, guys. Okay? And that's facts. And we have some sleepers on here, guys. We have Lance Gibson Jr. fighting Chase Hooper. I honestly think Chase Hooper is biting more than what he can chew because Lance Gibson Jr. actually gave out a great performance his first time around under the UFC banner. Okay? Against King Green. Somebody experienced like that and fighting 3 rounds and losing to a split decision to an experienced King Green. That's not really something to look down on. So Lance Gibson, I'm looking for him to really be a come out performance of the night, to be honest with you. But this is a good card, guys. This is a good card. All right, this is a good card. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I also want to mention, guys, T Token. How you doing, Token? Blessings to you. Okay, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, support the community. I appreciate you. Welcome to your channel and welcome to your chat. But guys, I'm also looking forward to the first fight of the night, guys, and that's going to be Brenna Brazil versus Alexia Thanara. In my opinion, look, I understand Alexia is she got momentum behind her. I do understand that. I do understand she comes viciously forward and attacks with no fear. Okay, with no fear, she just attacks her opponents. And usually her opponents fold. Okay? Her only loss, I believe, Alexia's only loss is Buena Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they fought early on in their career. And I believe Buena Brazil won that fight. Now, Alexia coming into the UFC, finding success early on, great performances. I like Buena Brazil though, man. It's hard because Buena Brazil is like she. When I first saw her, I was like, she can become a champion. She can become a champion. She has everything, all the athletic abilities. She just needs to be able to put it together. And unfortunately, Buena Brazil hasn't been able to put together her overall mixed martial arts skills. And it's unfortunate because I honestly had high hopes for Bueno Brazil, but I hope Bueno Brazil shows up and gives out just a standout performance because I think she really can. Okay, what is the main event? The main event of the evening is Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pfeiffer. Okay, that is the main event of the evening. And guys, let's get into it. Okay, let's get into this main event of the evening: Joe Pfeiffer versus Israel Adesanya. Let's get a little bit more into the details. Okay, let's get a little bit more into the details. Joe Pfeiffer. Let's talk about him. Okay, 9 wins by knockout. Okay, Joe Pfeiffer 9 win by knockout, 4 wins by submission, 7 first round finishes for Joe Pfeiffer. We are looking at the nitty gritty details right now. Like and subscribe, guys. Support the community. Takedown accuracy. Okay, takedown accuracy for Joe Pfeiffer is 33%. Okay, 33%. Not that good. Okay, not that well. Usually his fights are kept on the feet. All right. But 33%. That's not too shabby. That's not too good. That's all right. That's all right. You know what I mean? Let's look at his striking. Okay, his striking accuracy is about 43%. That's really good. That's a high rate. You know what I mean? It says significant strikes landed 255, significant strikes attempts 587. So I mean that's good. Almost half of his strikes are landing. So that is really, really good. And most of his strikes are landing at the head region. All right. From what it looks like right now, his significant strikes are landing in the head. He's a headhunter from what I'm looking at right now. Uh and you know what, Joe Pfeiffer, he's been giving out some great performances, right? He's on a huge winning streak. All right. He beat Nearshart. He beat Alassad, Hassan. He beat Hassan. Excuse me. He beat Hermanson. He beat Barrelfault. He beat Gastelum. And his last performance, he beat Magomedov. Okay. Let me read this. Joseph says, so then faith cometh to hearing. Oh man. Blessings to everybody, guys. Blessings to everybody. Okay, blessings to everybody. All right. But look, Joe Pfeiffer, from the looks of it, look, Joe Pfeiffer is definitely an up and comer. Joe Pfeiffer definitely has abilities. Okay. He has he's definitely durable. And he definitely goes into the fight with a good game plan. And usually when he goes into a fight with a good game plan, he sticks to that game plan, he usually comes out with the win. So that's really what I can say about Joe Pfeiffer. But honestly, guys, when I'm looking at his performances, well, his not performances, excuse me. When I'm looking at his opponents, I mean, guys, he hasn't fought anybody in the top 10. The guy hasn't fought anybody in the top 15, basically, if I'm not mistaken, guys. I'm dead serious, guys. It's atrocious, okay? The fact that Joe Pfeiffer gets the ability and the opportunity to fight a guy like Israel Adesanya is kind of atrocious, but you know what? It is what it is. Because it's a double-edged sword for Joe Pfeiffer. Because if Joe Pfeiffer beats Israel Adesanya in the condition that he is in right now, then a lot of people are going to say, well, Israel Adesanya was washed up. You still haven't beat anybody in their prime. And it's unfortunate. So it's a double-edged sword for Joe Pfeiffer right now. Christian, welcome back to your channel and welcome back to your chat, Christian. Like and subscribe, guys, if you are new to the channel. Support the community, okay? Like I always say, easier than going to your local ATM, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. But, guys, when it comes to Joe Pfeiffer, I mean, I'm looking at his opponents, and really his opponents they really haven't been that impressive, okay? They really haven't been that impressive. I mean, don't get me wrong. Joe Pfeiffer has been very, very active. In 2025, he fought twice. So he's been active. He's been getting the dubs. Don't get me wrong. But he has never fought a guy like Israel Adesanya, guys. Okay, that's facts. That's facts, guys. Okay. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of Israel Adesanya right now, guys. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. 16 wins by knockout. All right. 7 first round finishes for Israel Adesanya, former middleweight champion. Okay. Striking accuracy is about 48%. Okay. Might as well round up to 50 and say the guy he's totally accurate. He throws a lot of strikes and he's accurate. Okay. It says about 1,200 strikes thrown and about 2,600. No, 1,200 strikes landed. Excuse me. 2,600 strikes attempt. So I mean, the guy is throwing a lot of strikes and he's landing at a very, very high rate. Okay, that's facts. Now look, guys. When you look at his takedown accuracy, Israel Adesanya hardly ever goes down for a takedown. Okay, his takedown accuracy is not a telltale. I mean, it is a telltale. It tells that he's never going to go for a takedown. Takedown accuracy is at 11%, which tells me this fight is going to be standing up. That's facts. Okay, with Joe Pfeiffer's stand up, with Joe Pfeiffer's wrestling ability being at 33% accuracy, I don't see how he takes down Israel Adesanya with his takedown defense being so good. Okay, and that's facts. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty of things. Okay, Israel Adesanya hasn't won a fight since 2023. That was against Alex Pereira. As of recent, he lost to Sean Strickland. He lost to Du Plessis. Okay, and he's lost to Imavov. Now, guys, I do understand. Christian says, hold on, guys, you already know exactly what this is. This is OE MMA TV. That on camera is your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give OE the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Christian, for breaking it down. I couldn't have said it better myself. But guys, look. I do understand that Israel Adesanya is on a losing streak. Blaze Farm says, you Indian? I mean, doesn't matter, guys. Doesn't matter if I'm Indian. It doesn't matter if I'm Pakistani. Doesn't matter if I'm, Haitian. Doesn't matter if I'm, Chinese. It doesn't matter, guys. I mean, you let me know in the chat. But anyways, guys, I do understand Israel Adesanya is on a tremendous losing streak as of recent. However, when you look at the nitty gritty and the fine details of things, Israel Adesanya has always been fighting top tier opponents. I'm talking top 3, top 4, best in the world consistently. Okay? Fight after fight, training camp after training camp. That takes a toll on a fighter. Okay? Just like the road takes a toll on the wheels of a vehicle. Okay? That's facts. So yeah, Israel Adesanya might not be the same person that he was when he first came into the UFC and found success and, started, becoming this huge, just popular fighter, and just, you can basically say, after Anderson Silva, he basically took the throne, defended his belt multiple times. Huge popularity. But unfortunately, fighting at that high level with that high, with that high competitive levels, the knife got dull, guys. The knife got dull. And unfortunately, Israel Adesanya has been taking L's after L's after L's. However, guys, that is not the tail of the take. In my opinion, Israel Adesanya, even in his losses, guys, he's been looking impressive. All right, the only loss that I say he's looked terrible in was the Sean Strickland fight. In my opinion, the Sean Strickland fight, he didn't look good any time in that fight. However, when he was fighting, Du Plessis, I had Israel Adesanya actually winning that fight. Going into that, I believe it was going into that 4th or 5th. I think it was in the 4th round was when it was finished. But going into that 4th round, I had Israel Adesanya winning. Okay? And then all of a sudden, Duplessis, the whole time he's looking like he's fumbling the fight, and he pulls off this ridiculous takedown out of nowhere. Okay? Takes down Israel Adesanya, gets his back, grounds and pounds him a little bit, and gets a rear naked choke. Guys, Israel Adesanya was winning that fight against Dricus Duplessis. That's facts. Turbo says TCB. I can't disagree with you. Israel Adesanya is definitely on a horrible losing streak, but if we are looking at Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer, Izzy has way more experience. I can't disagree with you. But back to what I was saying, guys. Even in his losses, Israel Adesanya has been looking impressive. Yes, he lost to Dricus Duplessis, but he was looking and winning that fight. He was looking great in winning that fight. But then he lost, okay, by rear naked choke. And when he fought Imavov, which, guys, Imavov is on a huge tear. He's a huge threat, a true contender in that division. Guys, Israel Adesanya was looking good on the feet against Imavov. It's not like he was losing the fight. Unfortunately, Israel Adesanya got caught by an overhand by Imavov, and that was the night. Imavov swarmed him, landed some ground and pound. Referee had to come and save him. Israel Adesanya lost. But Israel Adesanya, prior to that, haymaker of a punch, Israel Adesanya was looking great on the feet against Imavov, a guy who's a true contender in that division. So, guys, I mean, look, say what you want, okay? Say what you want about Israel Adesanya. But when you look at the fine details, guys, I am a true believer in Israel Adesanya. I do not believe he loses against a guy like Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer hasn't fought anybody in the top 10, top 15. That's guaranteed, guys. That's facts. Joe Pyfer has never really fought a striker like Israel Adesanya. I do understand Joe Pyfer has fought a former, high contender in that division in Kevin Gastelum. But guys, that was last year in June of 2025. You think that's the same Kevin Gastelum that Israel Adesanya fought? Definitely not, guys. Christian says, Turbo says, did you see Rakiki versus Malomba? That was one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. I have not seen that fight, my guy. I have not seen that fight, but now I'll keep it in my memory and I will look for it. Plus, Christian says, let's not forget Israel Adesanya is not the same fighter that he used to be when he was in his prime. However, Joe Pyfer is definitely not going to beat Israel Adesanya. Look, I did mention that. I do understand that Israel Adesanya is definitely not the guy he used to be when he was in his prime. But guys, let's not pretend that Israel Adesanya is out here, getting knocked out. That's not what's happening. Israel Adesanya is out there giving out great performances, but unfortunately, he's been taking some L's. Caprella says UFC is lame now. Look, the way things are going, I must say the UFC is kind of lame. Okay? And if I was anybody in this world right now, I would be Piccolo. Okay? I would be Piccolo, and the reason being is because I'll be able to get out of this planet. Okay? And go into another planet and call that my world. That's exactly what I want to do right now. Because I honestly agree with you, Caprella. Caprello, I agree with you. The UFC is atrocious right now. Especially the way it used to be. I used to love the era where it had tap out on the shorts. Okay? I love that era. The era with the shirts that said, no fear, fucking fire and dragons on the shirt. I miss that era. I really do. The way things are right now are definitely watered down. Okay. The UFC is not really putting the best fights that they can, put on. Uh, the White House card is atrocious. It was promoted to be one of the best cards that the UFC could ever put on, and that's not what we are getting. Okay, so I agree with you. Turbo says it was in the Contender Series. Got you. I mean, wow, I don't watch the Contender Series. I do not watch the Contender Series at all. All right, but you know what, Turbo? I'm gonna look for it right now. I'm gonna look for it right now. Now that you are telling me look for this fight, I'm gonna look for it right now. You know why? Because I have the time to do it, and I might as well do it. Hold on. Let me look for it right now. Hold on. Let me look for it right now. Hold on a second. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. Here it is. I'm gonna watch it right now. 1 minute highlight. Let's go. All right. Christian says, because I can guarantee you the last Stylebender is still the front dog in the Nigerian dog yard. Christian, I happen to agree with you. I mean, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Chase Hooper? Huh? I mean, it can't be that guy. Aaron says, never have I ever seen a gorilla in a restaurant, but yesterday was my first time. Well, congratulations to you. Do you like Roblox? I don't play Roblox. I don't even know what Roblox is, but let me see this highlight here. All right, of this fight here. It's 1 minute and 15 seconds long. Let's watch it. Why not? Let's watch it. Let's see how this fight goes. Somebody on here, what is it? Turbo told me it's a fantastic fight. Let's check it out real fast. Let me see this. Oh man, they throwing. They throwing. Oh, Maluma got hit with a left. Oh, got hit with a straight. He got dropped. Holy hell. Maybe I do need to watch the Contender Series. Oh, Maluma hit him with a right. Oh, he got dropped. Rakini got dropped. Oh, he's being attacked. He's being swarmed. Oh, what a fight. Oh, spinning back elbow. Oh, what a combination. This fight is, oh my God. Holy hell. Oh, he's going for it. He's jumping the ghillie. He is jumping the ghillie. Oh, he's jumping the ghillie here in a second. He might get him. Malumbo is fighting for his life. Oh, to get back up to his feet. Oh, what a head kick. Malumbo, this fight is crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, what a left hand. Oh, what a right hand by Malumbo. Holy hell, he was not. Oh, what a knee. Oh, step in elbows. Holy, oh, what a uppercut. The fight is over. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a performance. Holy mackerel. Maybe I do need to watch Contender Series. Guys, Turbo, you just convinced me to actually keep my eye on the Contender Series because holy hell, look, guys, I honestly used to watch the Contender Series, okay? And I used to watch the Ultimate Fighter, but then the Ultimate Fighter had DC, Daniel Cormier, and Chael Sonnen as the coaches, and that's when I had to check out, guys. Okay? That's literally when I checked out of anything that the UFC can offer with television TV. Okay? I was out of there. No more Contender Series, no more Ultimate Fighter, but guys, Turbo has sold me something new. Okay? Let me tell you something. That was an exciting fight. I just watched this fight. It was 2 minutes long right there, and let me tell you something. That was something. That was something, guys. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you for that amazing, amazing performance by those two men, guys. That was awesome. Christian says, and speaking of the UFC, I am very happy to say that Jailton Almeida finally got cut from the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Did he really, guys? Well, finally he got cut. Guys, there's a lot of guys out here that should be getting cut, to be honest with you. They should be getting cut right now. All right. Kaya Ora, brother, hello from New Zealand. New Zealand? Jay Biggs, welcome to your channel and welcome to your chat all the way from New Zealand, baby. That is what's up, man. Like and subscribe, guys, if you are new to the channel. Okay, run up these likes and run up these subscriptions. I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Layla. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, hopefully you're having a good one as well, guys. Okay, how is the world going right now? How's the rest of the world? How you doing out there? Let me know in the chat what is going on. Okay. We are past the 30-minute mark, so we don't have to talk about mixed martial arts if you don't want to. All right, those are the rules of the channel. After the 30-minute mark, we could talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be mixed martial arts related, guys. Okay, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I did go live yesterday and made a hell of a video about Conor McGregor possibly, coming back to the UFC and fighting Max Holloway. That was another banger. So go ahead and check out that video as well, guys. So yeah, some exciting things going on with the UFC. Some exciting things going on, maybe with Conor McGregor. We shall see, man. We shall see how everything unfolds. You know. But I do know one thing, man. I do know one thing though. The UFC needs to do better. That's facts, guys. The UFC needs to do better. They need to start putting cards that are actually worth watching. That last card that just happened, last weekend, that was a phenomenal card. Like I said, on paper that was a trash ass card, but man, it actually delivered. It was very entertaining. And yeah, I'm really hoping this weekend Israel Adesanya could go out there and get a quick knockout of Joe Pfeiffer. That's the way that's the way I see things going. You know what I mean? That's the way I see things going. Christian says, because if there is one word that can describe Jailton Almeida, atrocious heavyweight wrestler, because from my point of view, he is without a doubt a Brazilian Portuguese dead body, guys. What the hell? It doesn't work anymore? Oh man, I gotta buy a new one. I always have to buy a new battery. Yeah, I gotta buy a new battery. Jeez. But guys, you're not lying. Christian, you're not lying at all, actually. I mean, I hear you. You know what I mean? I agree with you actually. Um Unfortunately, he's cut. He's cut, and that's good. That is great news. Great news for the UFC at least, I don't know if it's great news for him. I wonder who's going to sign him. I wonder if there's going to be another organization interested in signing him. But I tell you what, guys, I mean, the heavyweight division is in shambles. The heavyweight division is shit. Okay? It's literally, diarrhea in a toilet and just sitting there for days. That's what the heavyweight division reminds me of, okay? Turbo says, who do you think was the biggest what if in MMA? Oh my gosh. Um freak. I forgot his name. He was a featherweight fighter. His name is Magomed Sharipov. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Magomed Sharipov forever would be the biggest what if in my opinion, because if he would have stood in the UFC, I mean, guys, the guy was phenomenal. Okay, I had dreams and hopes that Magomed Sharipov would actually get an opportunity to fight Max Holloway. Okay, and then when I started thinking further into Magomed Sharapov's abilities, I mean, guys, that guy had tricks everywhere. Magomed Sharipov could literally submit you with his eyes closed. His ability to take the fight to the ground with his trips and his wrestling was phenomenal. His Brazilian jiu-jitsu and his wrestling together was like something on you. It's like something you never even seen before. Okay, his striking ability was phenomenal. He was Max Holloway and he was Max Holloway 3.0. He was doing things that Max Holloway wasn't even doing. He was doing spinning back elbows, spinning back kicks. He was doing he was doing some crazy, clinch trips. Magomed Sharipov will ever be the biggest what if in my opinion, because I think he could have become champion. I think he could have beaten Max Holloway potentially. I think he could have beaten even Volk, with his abilities. That guy was the biggest what if, man. I wish he would have stayed in the UFC. But I don't know if you guys know Magomed Sharipov. Check him out, man. Check him out, and if you know him, let me know in the chat, and let me know who's your biggest what if. To be honest with you. you know. But it'll have to be Megamed Sharapov, who's my biggest what if. You know what? Let me look up some highlights of this guy. Mega Med Sharapov. It's so hard. Zabib Magomed Sharapov. That's his name. Zabib Magomed Sharapov. Yes. And speaking of dead bodies, I got a list of dead bodies. Tyler Tuivasa, Australian dead body. Thaleson Teixeira, Brazilian Portuguese dead body. Daniel Zellhuber, Mexican Latino American dead effing body. Look, guys, I can't disagree with you. Not even a little bit, man. All those guys you mentioned are literally dead bodies. I'm talking about dead bodies walking around in a cemetery holding onto a shovel, burying themselves and each other. Okay? I'm talking, night at the museum type of dead body with zombies. Okay? Night of the Walking Dead, guys. Definitely, guys. Okay, let me go ahead and watch some highlights here of Zabib Magomed Sharapov. Here, let's watch some highlights here. I'm sorry, this guy was the biggest what if ever. I mean, you could go ahead and watch his highlights right now, and I'm not lying to you. Just watching his highlights make me want to jump back in the gym and see how I would do, which I know it will be terrible. I'll get rocked, and that's facts. Okay, I'm old, slow. Only thing I got is power and athletics. I'm a little athletic. Look at this. Look at this guy. Oh my god. Look at this guy. Zabib was disgusting, guys. I'm talking in and out, head movement phenomenal, spinning back fist, spinning back elbow, spinning back anything to your fucking head. Okay, he was phenomenal. All right. Oh man, he beat everybody. Jeremy Stevenson had no answer. Jeremy Stevenson was looking at this guy like he was fighting fucking Spider Man himself. All right. Oh man, phenomenal. What a phenomenal athlete. I miss Megamed Sharapov. What happened to Zabib, man? What happened to him? Look at this guy jumping off the cage, smacking you with the back in the front of his toes. I mean, this guy is just crazy, man. Thank you for reminding me about that because wow. Okay. Christian says Derek Lewis, triple American dead body. Marlon Chito Vera, Ecuadorian Latino American dead body. Jayton Almeida, Brazilian Portuguese dead body. Everybody you mentioned is definitely a dead body. 100% dead body. Look at these trips. Zabib was disgusting. Oh my god. Turbo says I think it's a Beats biggest quality. I think it's a Beats biggest quality was he was Zabib's biggest quality. He was well rounded, maybe the most well rounded fighter if he would have kept up with it. Also, too, he had creativity and the ability to do it. Look, man, I agree, man. I agree, man. Like he had everything to become champion. Everything that a champion would need, all the tools. Zabib had it, guys. If he went up against, if Zabib, like right now, in my head, if Zabib went up against Max Holloway when Max Holloway was in his prime, Max Holloway would have lost, in my opinion, just because Max Holloway, even until this point, you guys saw what Charles Oliveira was able to do to him, even right now. Okay, and that's right now. So imagine back then when his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu wasn't even as good as it is right now, which it was atrocious, compared to Charles Oliveira. Zabib would have taken down Max Holloway and submitted him with any submission that he wanted. The guy has multiple submission wins already in the UFC. The guy was doing things like it was just unheard of. Okay? And his ability, once again, to take the fight to the ground was so creative. It was unbelievable. One moment you're looking at him, and the next moment he's grabbing your neck and you're taking it down. Unbelievable, guys. I'm talking text. It's all messed up. My screen is broken. Turbo, I hear you. I hear you. The struggles. Okay, I hear the struggles, man. Everybody going through their struggles, man. Even me. Okay, even me, guys. All right. I am not immortal. All right, but if I was immortal, I'll be this guy right here. Okay? You guys might not know who that is. All right? But that's Nazgul. Okay? That is Nazgul. And he is vicious. Okay? He is vicious. And that's who Israel Adesanya has to mimic. Okay? Israel Adesanya has to mimic Nazgul and just be vicious. Go in there and be that darkness in Joe Pfeiffer's life. Okay? Christian says Justin Gaethje, triple American highlight dead body. Nate Diaz, triple American triple American grappler dead body. Nick Diaz, triple American dead body. Look, everybody you mentioned there is, dead bodies basically. I mean, look, Justin Gaethje still competed at a high level. I mean, shit. Even him out of his prime, and even him with his CTE condition, he was still able to beat. You already know who. Okay, not even relevant anymore. Got Mark Hunt in UFC, man. Man, if Mark Hunt was in the UFC right now, he would be champion. Right now, he would knock out everybody. There wouldn't be one person he couldn't knock out. If Mark Hunt in his prime walked into the UFC right now, he would be the champion. He would knock out everybody. Everybody would be put to sleep in the first round, guaranteed, guys. Okay. Turbo says I haven't heard about Shavkat Raghmoudov. Yeah, in a while. Look, but Shavkat is great. Shavkat is great, but unfortunately, the guy can't stay healthy. The guy cannot stay healthy, guys. Okay, I mean, it's like he's made of glass. All right, you need to tiptoe around this guy, all right, because he's made literally of eggshells. All right, the guy is Humpty Dumpty, sitting on a wall. All right, waiting for the next move, because the next move he might fall. That's who is Shavkat is in short form. Guaranteed, guys. Mark Hunt from my hometown, Mandurah, New Zealand. I do know. Yeah, he's from over there. I do know he's from over there. And that's awesome, man. To have a guy like that, Mark Hunt, representing your hometown, that's a good person to have a representation. You know what I mean, of where you come from. I'm dead ass. You know what I mean? There must be some badass SOBs over there. I'll tell you that much. Mark Hunt, let me tell you something. Mark Hunt could have been the champion of the world, in my opinion, in the UFC and in other organizations as well. He was usually cut short, in my opinion. A lot of these guys in the UFC and in other organizations, they were taking massive amount of drugs and steroids, which, in my opinion, Mark Hunt, he has a natural ability. He was a natural born fighter. I mean, if you just look at him, take one good look at him, he was made to move mountains and shit. You know what I mean? To move huge rocks. And that's who Mark Hunt is, man. And let me tell you something. I'll take a Mark Hunt in his prime right now over anybody in that heavyweight division right now. Guaranteed, guys. Christian says, because I can guarantee you Justin Gaethje is one loss away from becoming one of a few lightweight fighters to become a dead body. Ilia Topuria better make Gaethje look like a dead body. Look, Christian, I can't disagree with you. And I happen to think Ilia Topuria is the guy to get the job done, guys. I mean, he's been putting everybody to sleep. He put Volk to sleep after Volk got head kicked, and then he put Max to sleep after Max cut tremendous weight. And then he beat Charles. Charles out of his prime, taking some beatings. So I guarantee you, Ilia Topuria is that guy to put Justin Gaethje to sleep and bring him back to the hospital with his doctor so they can diagnose him with CTE. Jay Big says, yeah, life's rough over here. We be fighting big islanders over here. Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I mean, if you're telling me that's where you come from, and that's where Mark come from, in New Zealand, I can guarantee you, you guys are a bunch of animals. You know what I mean? You guys look like a bunch of animals. You know what I mean? You guys probably look like you guys can fight a bear. You know what I mean? Like, you guys probably chill with bears. You know what I mean? You guys probably have cookouts with bears on a Saturday evening. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Having cookouts with Mark Hunt. That's what it's going to be called. All right. Over here in New Zealand. Imagine that, guys. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me tell you. The only thing we have over here in America that's huge, if you come to Texas, maybe you'll find, people like yourself, Texas, small parts of California, Hawaii, definitely. You know what I mean? Hawaii, definitely. You guys, your Samoans over there. You know what I mean? Just big, brolic, what I mean, motherfuckers who could just move mountains, with their fucking breath out of their chest type of shit. But unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm a twig compared to you guys. Okay, that's facts, guys. Okay. But anyways, guys, look. Topic of discussion at the end of the day. Look, Israel Adesanya done? Is he close to retirement? Is he 1 foot out and 1 foot in? Those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves because, in my opinion, I don't think he is. I think Joe Pfeiffer hasn't fought to the level of competitors that Israel Adesanya has fought. Israel Adesanya has fought high-level competitors consistently. And in my opinion, look, Jay Biggs, I agree with you. I still think Israel Adesanya has it. I still think he is young. I still think he has a lot of abilities. And he's going to prove, okay? He's going to prove this Saturday that there's levels to this game. I actually think it's going to be a little bit disrespectful, putting not a numbered guy against a guy who's a former champion, all right, and who's been phenomenal in the UFC, like Israel Adesanya. I think it's a little bit disrespectful, but you know what? I think it's Israel Adesanya's job to go in there and show the UFC that there's levels to this game. Okay, there's levels to this game. Turbo says, "How long do you think the style? Of the elite Dagestan wrestling be dominant? Do you think anyone will be able to crack this code? Are you a fan of it?" Well, Turbo, look, am I a fan of the wrestling and that type of stuff? I'm a fan of mixed martial arts. In general, right? Is it the most exciting style in the world? No, it's not. But it's a style, and it is mixed martial arts, so I enjoy it in general. Okay, would I enjoy watching a striking affair like I just watched here in the Contender Series, like you just blessed me with? Of course, I would love to and enjoy that. You know what I mean? However, the fights need to be appreciated for what it is. You know what I mean? And if a person has a technique and the other person can't stop it, unfortunately, you're gonna have to get better. All right, you're gonna have to get better, especially if you want to, give out an entertaining fight. You can't always blame it on the Dagestanis and their wrestling. That's facts. All right, you're gonna have to figure out a way to beat it. All right, and unfortunately, nobody has been able to figure out, a clean way to beat that style. It's just so dominant. I remember back in the day when GSP was so dominant with his style of wrestling. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a Dagestani style of wrestling, but guys, you can't tell me, when you go back and watch GSP's era and GSP's run, most of his time was mat time. Most of his time was, on the wrestling side. Don't get me wrong, definitely had phenomenal striking, definitely had phenomenal abilities when it came to his, his jabs and his boxing and his kickboxing, but most of his wins were due to his wrestling. And that's facts. And would I call his career boring? No, I'm not going to call his career boring. But I'm a true fan of GSP and mixed martial arts. So will Dagestani wrestling last? It's going to last a long time. Wrestling is a tough sport, and usually wrestlers are tough people to beat. You're going to have to come out there like Zabib Magomedsharipov, where he had every ability. He can wrestle with you, okay? He had Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills, and he can strike. You're going to have all the abilities to beat those guys. And will we have that? Yeah, I think that we're coming close to that. I think we're coming close to that. I mean, look at what happened to Marab. Marab got, beat by Peter Yan. I think we're going to start seeing more of this. Christian says, good question, by the way, Turbo. Great question. Christian says, man, there is absolutely no doubt that Ilia Tapoya is going to absolutely destroy Justin Gaethje. I guarantee you, Justin Gaethje is going to get absolutely outstruck by El Matador. I agree with you, Christian. I mean, I don't see how, a sloppy version out of his prime Justin Gaethje beats Ilia Tapoya. I'm just being real. J Biggs says, I like your vibes, brother. Thank you, J Biggs. I appreciate it. Before Mark Hunt was David Tua knockout king in his prime. I gotta check him out. What about Brock? I mean, look, Brock, the guy. Come on. Honestly, I want to see Brock Lesnar off of steroids, because then we can find out is who is this man truly, right? Because look, Mark Hunt, he doesn't need any steroids. He doesn't need anything to have any abilities. The guy is just a natural born fucking mountain mover. Unfortunately, in my opinion, Brock Lesnar is a powerhouse because he was just a bunch of he was around a bunch of scientists who just pumped him up with a bunch of steroids. But I would love to see Brock Lesnar actually off of it and see, who's the man behind the muscles. Make a documentary about that one. But anyways, guys, you already know what this is, okay? All right, this is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you already know. You might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Until next time, I will be going live this Saturday, okay, for the Israel Adesanya and Joe Pfeiffer headliner. So stay tuned for that one, guys. I'll see you then. One love.